Okay. So, hi, welcome to Barre. I just have a few announcements for you guys and a quick waiver to read for you. So, for the waiver, in order to make these classes as freely accessible as possible to our participants, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of the class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you may assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable. For example, make sure you've moved nearby furniture and other potential hazards. Make sure you also have like a mat or carpeted area just so it's a little more comfortable on your knees and your back when we do go to the ground. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice or care as needed. Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical examination and follow the advice of your healthcare provider. And then real quick, we do have some announcements, even though this definitely does not apply for alumni, so you can feel free to ignore me. But if you're interested in becoming an instructor, we have an info session on Tuesday, March 2nd from 7 to 8 p.m. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And the written application is due March 26th. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. We are going to start standing. Make sure you have plenty of water nearby. So sorry, phone is having an issue. And I can't play music out loud because of the Zoom quality issue. So feel free to play your own music. I'm going to put in one headphone as well. So just, you can play it out loud since you're also muted, whatever works best for you. Let me quickly get started. All right. So we're going to just start with a nice warm up. We're going to do some bent leg kicks, so arms in a nice goal post. You're going to drive one knee up towards your chest while bringing your elbows into your side, alternating legs just to warm up your core and your arms. Doing great. We're just going to do this for 8 more just to finish warming up the shoulders too. Already halfway through, so 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to come into a second position. So taking a big step out with slight turnout, but you don't want to go too far turnout because then you might hurt your knees. And we're just going to do a squat, reach over, arm overhead, extending that leg to make a nice straight line, transferring your weight over to the other side. And we're just going to keep shifting like this to warm up those quads. Definitely feeling that good stretch in your side. All right, and then in 4, 3, 2, 1, you're gonna cross that arm across your chest to warm up the center section as well, all while still doing those transferring weights in your second position squat. Doing great, we are almost done. We're just gonna do 8 more here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna warm up a little more of the core real quick. You're gonna come to the edge of your mat. We're gonna stretch up into the air and walk your hands out into a downward dog. So keeping those hips up in the air. We're just gonna pedal out the legs. And you're gonna rock forward into your plank position and rock it back by pulling your hips and core back up and keep pedaling it out. And you're gonna put it forward again into that plank and pulling it back just to warm everything up. All right, bringing those feet to your hands, slowly rolling up. Now, if you do have some sort of chair or a wall next to you, we're gonna use that as our bar today. And you don't have to worry about weights. This is gonna be completely body weight today. So what we're gonna do, you're gonna face your bar. In my case, it's my desk chair. And we're going to lift those heels up, and you're going to bend your knees over, trying your best to keep toes over the knees. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna rise up, straightening the leg, and lower, all while staying with those heels up off the ground, as if you're wearing high heels. Really engaging that core to stabilize the rest of your body. And just going up for 2, down for 2, up for 2, down for 2. If you need to lower your heels, totally fine. This is just a challenge, so if you want to lower them, go ahead. Or if you want even more of a challenge, you can practice your balance and take your hands off the bar. Ooh, today my challenge is not for me. And in 4, 3, 2, 1, you're gonna stay up on that releve or the heels raised. And you're going to take your left foot and tap it back, tapping it together. Almost like doing a lunge, baby lunge in heels. So you're just tapping back, tapping it together, all while still keeping those heels raised. And again, if you do want that extra challenge, you can test your balance. And in 4, we're going to keep the legs staggered backwards, and we're gonna pulse it out. So 2 and 1, pulsing it out in the staggered position. This, you can really test your balance by engaging that core, engaging those legs. And straighten the legs, lower those heels, and relax. Feel free to roll out your heels, roll out the toes. We're gonna start with the other side, but luckily, we only have to start with the tap back. So rising your feet back up, you're gonna stagger the right leg back, and you're gonna tap together, all while staying in that plie or bent leg position, and the heels are up, as if you're doing the whole thing in heels. Making sure to still engage that core. And if you are holding onto the bar, make sure you have a nice light grip. You don't wanna have like a death grip or anything. And still keeping your chest proud, back straight. It's all about just trying to move the legs. And in 4, we're going to do those pulses again. So 4, 3, 2, 1, keeping it staggering back. And we're just gonna do some 8 count of the pulses. If you wanna test it out with hands off, woo, or you can always lower your heels. So 4, 3, 2, 1, straighten, lower those legs, and release it. Feel free to do a calf stretch if you need, whatever feels good to you. And then we're going to start still facing the bar. You're going to extend your left leg back straight behind you, and we're going to lift it ever so slightly, 45 degrees, nothing crazy. And we're just going to do rise, tap to the ground, rise, tap to the ground, barely touching the ground. If you don't even want to touch the ground, feel free. It's just about engaging that back part and only moving the leg. If you can't lift it that high, no worries. Little movements is perfect. And if needed, you can keep a soft bend in your knee, just so you don't lock your knee. Really engaging those glutes in the back, still keeping everything upright. And in 4, we're going to bring those pulses back. So 2, 1, you're gonna keep your leg up in the air, and we're gonna pulse it a little higher. Only moving it like an inch. It's all about the tiny movements. And 4, 3, 2, 1, lower. and still keeping it extended back. What we're gonna do is we're going to make rainbows with our feet. So you're gonna act like there's a crayon on your toe. You're going to move your leg out, tap it to the side of you, lift and tap to the back, crossing it behind you. So you're still trying to isolate that one leg. You may start feeling the working in your supporting leg, but that's totally fine. That means that your muscles are working and you're really just trying to isolate that moving leg, barely touching the ground. You just need to engage those glutes. And we're just gonna do this for 8 more. You guys are almost there. You're doing great. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Feel free to relax, stretch out those hips, and we're going to work the other side now. All right, still keeping straight. You're going to extend that right leg, and we're gonna come back to those taps. So lift and lower, barely touching the ground. If you want to test your balance, do arms off to make sure you're engaging that core. But if not, just having a light touch on the bar. And only 45 degrees, nothing crazy. We're just gonna do this for 8 more before those pulses. So 4, 3, 2, 1, keeping that elevated leg, and we're just pulsing it ever so slightly, barely an inch moving, but you're just really trying to isolate that one leg. And as you can see, I have the soft bend in my knee. Feel free to do that so that you don't put too much pressure on your knee. And if you want to test your balance, go ahead. In 3, 2, 1, lowering that leg. We're gonna make the rainbows. So barely touching. You're going to move, tap your leg out to the side and cross it behind you. Tap it out to the side, still while engaging those glutes. Trying to just move the leg as best as possible, keeping everything else as still as you can. So even if you're getting tired, you can slow it down, but just make sure you're still keeping chest proud, neutral spine. We're just gonna do 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. You guys killed it. We're going to finish off with the legs, and we're going to do that second position again, where you have a little bit larger than shoulder width apart. You're going to squat into that position, keeping knees over your toes, and we are going to include the arms in this. So you're gonna hold the arms out and just circle them, making little minor circles, itch, going backwards. And you can keep pulsing into that squat. That way you're not just sitting there and your quads are still moving. This looks easy, but it always ends up being a lot harder as it goes on. And trying your best to keep your shoulders in the same position. Don't let them droop down. Really trying to hold them. If you want to get deeper in that squat, feel free, because in 8 more, we're going to rotate the arms going forward. So in 4, 3, 2, 1, and forward. We're still pulsing those squats out, where we're now just circling the arms forward, all while still keeping the shoulders up. Doing great, you guys. Just keep breathing. Don't forget to breathe. I sometimes forget to breathe. All right, we're just gonna do 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Woo, shake those shoulders out, get a drink of water. You can always take a break throughout the entire time to get water when you need. All right. Now we're going to do some lunges, and we're going to mimic bicep curls. If you do want to add weight, you can use completely like household items like your water bottle. I use the Lysol can, whatever you want to do. I'm going to do just my body weight. So when you lunge forward, your arms are going to curl up. You can have your hands in a fist and curl them up to mimic that bicep curl and come together while straightening those arms. We're going to alternate the legs and making sure to engage that core when you go down while still keeping knee over toe. If you find that you can't get the knee over the toe, bring your legs a little closer together, all while still mimicking your bicep curl. Again, you can add the weight, you can just do the lunges. It is totally your workout, whatever you want to do. Doing great, you guys. We're just going to do 8 more here. 8, 6, 4, 2, last one, you guys, and relax. Good job. Okay, so now what we're going to do is coming to the edge of the mat, we're going to do kind of like a burpee, but slow it down. So instead of jumping, you're going to do those calf raises again. So lifting arms up, calf raise, walk it out. You're going to come into a push-up. You can be on your knees. You can do tabletop, whatever you want to do, but you're going to do a push-up down at the bottom. I'm going to go on my knees. And then walk it back up. And calf raise, walk it out. My phone cord is in my way. And walk it back up. Calf raise, engaging that core. Keeping your arms right below your shoulders. Ooh. Calf raise. You can do these as slow or as fast as you want. And for these last 4, we're going to add a bit of a challenge in here. Instead of the normal push-up, we're going to walk it out into a tricep push-up. So trying your best to keep your elbows tucked into your body and walking it back. We're only doing these for 4. I find these the most difficult. That's why I consider it a challenge. But if you find that the tricep ones are too hard, feel free to go back to those regular ones. Just 2 more to go. Last one, we are almost there. Make it your best one yet. And relax. Woo. Great job. Feel free to grab some of that water. And while you do get the water, we're just going to do some of those back stretches real quick, clasping your hands together, straightening it out, doing a few shoulder rolls. All right. So now what we're going to do, we're going to come down to the ground for our core section. All right, so we are going to sit, and you're going to have your knees at this 90-degree angle. And what we're going to do, we're going to do toe taps. So you're going to be fully laying down. You're going to lower one leg, tapping, and tapping, doing your alternating. Try your best to keep them 90. If you just want to do straight leg or just holding it, totally up to you. It's your choice. But so far, we're going to start with alternating. So doing the left leg down, engaging that core. You want to make sure your lower back is not lifting off the floor. So only go as far as you can without lifting your back off the floor. And trying your best to keep that 90. So if you can only go this low, totally fine. All right, and then we're gonna do just 8 more of these. And after those 8, we're gonna add that challenge and we're gonna toe tap both of them down to the ground. So you're already halfway there. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keeping those legs still in this tabletop position, you're going to lower both of them down to the ground. And if you feel yourself starting to let your lower back, you can put your hands under your butt. That kind of helps. But also doing the same thing as the alternating, you don't have to go all the way down. However, wherever is the spot before your back lifts. So only go that far down. Really engaging that core. This one is a bit of a challenge. We're not going to be in this position for too long. We're just going to do 4 more here in this position, since it is our challenge. 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax, hugging your knees to your chest. We are going to continue with that core. So what we're going to do, you're going to have your feet touching, and you're going to make this little butterfly position. We're going to do crunches. So you're going to roll back again, and we're just going to crunch up and lower, almost trying to reach your feet, but you're in this butterfly position, so it's a little bit harder. Not fully sitting up all the way, but just enough to get those shoulders off the ground, and you're almost trying to touch your feet. If the butterfly position is too difficult, you can just go back to regular crunches, having your knees up, whatever is most comfortable for you. We're just going to do 8 more of these. We are almost done. You guys are killing it. Just trying to get those shoulders off the ground. We only have 4 more left. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, coming to a full sit-up. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come back to the ground. Feel free to get more water. I drink a lot of water. All right. We're going to come back down to the ground. You're going to have your legs up in the air. And what you're going to do, you're going to pull your body up as if you're grabbing onto a rope. This like metaphorical rope. Again, trying to reach to touch your feet, getting those shoulder blades off the ground. Even if it can only be a little bit, that's totally okay. Just pushing yourself to your own comfort level. And we're just going to be here for a bit. If you prefer to think of it as like tapping your toes, whatever works for you. We're just going to do this for 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Bringing those knees to your chest again, making sure to take a deep breath. And now we're staying in this position, keeping our feet flat on the floor, straight beneath our knees. We're gonna do hip bridges. So all we're gonna do is keep your hands to your sides, and what you're gonna do is engage your core and engage your glutes to lift up and lower slowly to the ground, lifting those hips, not wanting to crush your neck, but just trying to get that straight line with your back. Making sure to squeeze your glutes right at the top. Making sure to also keep those legs as steady as possible. You're just trying to isolate the hips, being the only thing moving. Everything else should be stable. And if you want to add weight here, if you so choose, you can add your water bottle across your hips, whatever you want to do, or you can just stay here, engaging that core. And we're just going to do this one for 8 more. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now before we do finish, we're going to add an 8 count of a bit of a challenge. We're bringing those calf raises back, so lifting your heels. If you have to bring your knees closer in, totally fine, because you want to have your feet right below your knees. But we're going to have our heels raised and still keeping your hands to your side to help stabilize yourself. You're going to engage that core, squeeze those glutes, and lift yourself up, doing those hip bridges while wearing heels again. We're only doing this for 8, and we're already halfway through. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Coming to sit up. Sorry, my phone kind of spazzed out for a second. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to switch onto our stomach real quick. And we're going to do Superwoman's. So while you're on your stomach, you're going to have your legs straight out, and you're going to have your arms in front of you. And what you're going to do, you're going to squeeze your back, lifting both your back and your legs together at the same time. Also your arms as well, but I'm just demonstrating. And you're going to lower. So what we're going to do, we're going to do 3 quick. And then on the last one, you're going to hold it up. So let me quickly demonstrate. We're going to do lift, 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 and hold. Just for a little extra second, and lower. So we're just adding that little challenge at the end. Yeah, let's get going. All right. Lift, lift, and hold, hold, lower. We're just holding for that extra second, but it always makes such a difference. So lift, lift, and hold, and lower. We're going to lift. We're just going to do 4 more of these, you guys. Hold, hold, and lower. And hold, hold, lower. Already halfway. We just have 2 more to go, you guys. Almost there. 2. And hold, hold, lower. Last one, make it count. You're just going to hold it, hold, and lower. Woo. Feel free to come into child's pose, stretching out the back a bit. Taking those deep breaths. All right. We're going to come into tabletop now. And we're going to do a similar thing to what we did standing. We're going to extend that back leg, trying to keep it in line with your back and your hips. And we're going to circle, acting, you can do like a clockwise circle, acting like, again, that pen is on your toe. Really trying to isolate just the leg movement. You don't want to lift it too high that your back is arching. Trying your best to keep it in line with your spine, keeping your vision at least a foot or two in front of you to have your neck straight. My circles are a little janky today, but that is okay. We are just going to do this for 8 more counts. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and holding it in that spot, we're going to pulse it out for 8. Almost done. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Sitting back into child's pose again. Taking a deep breath. Coming back together, we're going to do the other side. So remembering everything is just straight and stable. It should be only your leg moving. So extending it. That crayon is at the end of your toe. Crayon, marker, whatever you want. You're just drawing ever so slightly these little circles in the air. Really engaging that core to make sure you aren't moving and it's just your leg. Just keep breathing. We are almost through. We just have another 8 count. If you need to just hold the leg out, feel free. But we are almost through. 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding that leg out, we're going to pulse it ever so slightly, an inch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower. Sitting back in the child's pose again. All right, we're coming back up and we are staying in this tabletop position. If you need to get water, grab water. We're going to do fire hydrants now. So thinking of a dog peeing on a fire hydrant, we're going to be on our 4s in tabletop. You're going to lift up that leg, trying to keep it as high as just your hip level. We don't want to swing open. Just go as high as you can without moving the rest of your body. So lower, we're just going to open and close those legs. Keeping them in that 90, you're just rotating out your hip without full on rotating your body. These ones will start to kill, but don't worry, it is just your muscles working. Keep breathing through them. We only have 8 more to go. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're going to switch to your other leg. Again, even if the side feels kind of weird because you just did the other one, you want to just make sure you're barely lifting your hip without full on rotating your body. Just lifting that knee up ever so slightly. Making sure to still be engaging that core, keeping the rest of your body stable. Keep breathing through it, trying not to hold your breath. We only have 8 more to go. 8, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax, sitting back into that child's pose. Taking a deep breath, stretching out your arms. All right, coming up, we're gonna come onto our side plank. Don't forget to drink your water. All right, so for your side plank, you have a few options of whatever is your comfort level. You can be up on your arm, or you can be down on your elbow. And then you also can have your knee, your supporting knee bent under you to have a bit of like the half side plank, or you can extend both feet and having your feet staggered. Whatever is your comfort level, whatever will have you feel the strongest. I'm going to have my knee underneath me, arm up, whatever will keep your body straight, neutral spine, hands on hips. We're going to lower a hip to the ground and rise it up. Again, isolating just the center portion. You don't want to sit back or anything. You're just supporting yourself lower and up, lower and up. If you need to come down to your elbow, totally fine. Breathing through it. We are almost there. We're going to do 4 more before we add the arm. So 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to add that arm up into the air just for a little extra 8 count. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Really working those obliques. All right. We're going to switch to the other side, keeping the same modifications or anything that you had on the other side. So I'm going to come to my elbow, move my phone, and we're going to lower and up, lower and up. Really trying to keep that neutral spine, just lowering your hips straight down to the side. Still breathing. We are almost there, you guys. You have been killing it. We only have 4 more before we raise that arm up. So 4, 3, 2, 1, lifting that arm up. We're just doing this for 8. You're already halfway through. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. All right. We're going to come to our backs now. Just taking a nice big stretch up like a starfish. And we're going to wrap your right leg into your chest. Giving it a good hug. Thanking your body for everything it did today. And for putting in the effort to do this workout tonight. All right, and we're going to rotate that leg across your body while extending same arm to the other side, keeping your vision with your right arm so that you're twisting, getting that good stretch, breathing through it. Just really taking those deep breaths in. Coming back in, hugging your knee in again. You're gonna bring that right leg, making a 4 with your body, crossing your ankle over the other supporting leg, and hugging in that left leg to your chest to really feel the stretch in your back glutes and your hips, making sure to keep this foot nice and flexed to protect your knee. Just giving it a good hug, breathing through that stretch. And lowering that leg to the ground. You're gonna switch legs, bringing that left leg into your chest, giving it a good hug just like your right leg. Breathing into the stretch. If you feel like you need to move the leg around a bit, feel free to do so. Whatever's most comfortable. We're gonna cross that knee over your body while having the other arm extending to the opposite side to really feel the twist. Breathing through that stretch. Taking nice deep breaths. Bringing your knee back in to give it that hug. We're going to now make the 4 with it. So bringing the leg across your right leg, hugging the right leg into your chest while still keeping that left foot flexed. Hopefully you're really feeling the stretch in your hips. Breathing through the stretch. We are almost done with it. Releasing that out and slowly sitting up. We're going to put our legs forward, taking a big deep breath up, reaching your arms out, over, trying to touch your toes. If you can't touch your toes, reaching as far as you can go, just to make sure you're feeling your stretch in your back calves and the back of your legs. Really breathing into that stretch. If you need to bounce into it, totally fine. Rolling up, sitting cross-legged a bit, we're going to cross our arm over, making sure this arm is not pushing on your joint. You want to go either below or above it to stretch. Feel free to roll out those wrists. We're going to switch, still keeping it not on your joint, rotating out those wrists. All right, we're going to stand up, just do a nice quick calf stretch, bending that front knee while straightening the back. Switching legs. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. Class is over. Make sure to drink tons and tons of water afterwards. And thank you again for coming. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I'm going to stop recording real quick.